to the the main event.
Yeah.
Man, we've been flying. I thought we were, we got more than just one. We got one left, Art.
Yeah, one left, man. It's kind of been a quick night, but some great fights, man. Ponder and Mario was a great one. Davis and Rosales, man. Jeez, what a way to start after intermission. Gantaluga versus Romero, I love that fight also.
Tremendous day of action. How did you guys see it from home? You could chime in and let us know online at CO Combat Club on Instagram. One half of our main event making his way to the blue corner right now. We have Tommie Brick Hands Britton.
Tommie Britton coming to us off of a huge win in his last fight. He won a kickboxing title. So we know he's going to be lethal on the feet. So we'll see what happens here. Is Grant going to try and take him down, or will Tommie be able to keep it on the feet and do what he does?
And he's active across multiple different combat sports disciplines. As you mentioned, he just had a kickboxing fight. He's fought in bare knuckle. He's fought plenty of MMA fights throughout the time. Just a big, tough veteran. Yeah,
and the last time actually he came out to Colorado, he got a first-round TKO win by elbows. So he does well with all his weapons: punches, kicks, elbows, knees. So this will be a good one.
He's certainly got a tough test on his hands today as he takes on Colorado's own Grant Neal.
We got some big boys in the cage coming. I believe this was a catch weight of a 195. Neal coming out of Genesis Training Center. Coach Jacob Ramos in the corner. Brandon Gertz in the corner.
Grant Neal with a massive following here today.
As always.
Now, I think ultimately, as we take a look at this from a styles perspective, it's a question of, can Tommie keep Grant off of him?
I mean, and like I said, the last time he was out here, guys shot in on him. He was holding him by the cage, had a good sprawl. He's got long legs, and he was able to stall him there while he was landing brutal elbows to get the finish. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, Grant, obviously a totally different caliber of opponent than what he faced last time, but he's riding on some confidence too. Like I said, coming off that kickboxing title fight that he just won. So we'll see what happens here.
Xavier Vasquez also in the corner of Grant Neal.
got a star corner over there.
Yeah, see a few other big names out there in the crowd. See Courtney Cameron, world champion out there. We see Archie Colgan out in the crowd too as well.
Touch of the gloves. Excited for this one, man.
Oscar Martinez draws the assignment as the final third man of the day. No touch of gloves.
Measuring by both men. Oh!
Big 1-2 right away from Grant Neal.
Britton landed as well on that exchange. There's a shot. Oh.
Big scoop and slam on the takedown by Grant Neal. Grant Neal starting to work toward an arm triangle setup right off of the rip. He's going to need to clear and get cross body, but he could also sit here in half guard and just unload with damage.
Yeah.
Britton's got to try to work to get that right leg free, get his knee down to the canvas, and start to work up the cage.
Oh, this is not looking good for Britton.
Yeah, Grant's so heavy with his hips right there and trapping that far side leg. It's a bad spot for Britton to be in.
Oh, he's in the mount now.
And he's got Britton's head right in the dead space of the cage. That is a terrible spot to be unloading elbows and strikes from the back. Britton able to work up to Turtle, trying to scramble his way out. Grant able to ultimately secure the backpack position.
Grant doing a good job peppering him from the back.
Grant working up to the top position once he was no longer able to secure a potential fight-ending sequence from that backpack.
And I mean, with Grant's build at this size, it's very hard to scramble with him, right?
Super tough.
He's like scrambling with a ball, right? He's just like a boulder.
Now working from a crucifix up against the fence. This is about as bad of a position as Tommie could be in.
Yeah, and he's just taking shots.
Head up against the dead space, so you don't really have a whole lot of ability to create leverage to bump and bridge. Crucifix secured from Grant.
This is a terrible position for Tommie. He's going for the gift wrap now. Oh, no. And credit to Tommie, man. He just keeps scrambling. Oh.
Yeah, and just even the short elbows, those don't feel good either, man. That's a brutal position to be in. Grant figure four with his crucifix. I mean, this is... If Grant just starts unloading big elbows right now, he's going to finish this fight.
Yeah, but credit to Tommie, he keeps scrambling.
I mean, Tommie's got a full T-spine rotation going on, and he's not getting Grant off right now. Like,
yeah.
Grant in that position could just start unloading elbows and end the fight. Oscar's already looking close. Oscar knows that Tommie is not in a spot to where he can really improve, so he's going to pull the trigger if he starts to wear significant damage.
Yeah. Tommie is surviving somehow. He's doing everything. He's just not getting out.
Oh. Yeah, and there's a stoppage secured for Grant Neal. You know, Tommie looks a little bit upset from the stoppage, but I understand the fighter's perspective. I understand the ethos of wanting to go out on your shield, but we also, on the flip side, we don't need to see you go out on your shield every single time. We don't, right there in that moment, I can't argue with Oscar's stoppage being that for the better half of a minute and a half, somewhere around in there.
Yeah.
He was not able to get out of that crucifix position. His head was in the dead zone, and he was just having damage scored on him.
Yeah, and as we saw,
was he going to improve?
I don't know, man. And if he would have improved, it would have just, I mean, I don't see him getting up. Grant is just a monster on top. But again, credit to Britton, because he never gave up on himself, right? He tried to move and he tried to prevent the ref from stopping the fight, but
we can't forecast anything past the sequence where the stoppage happened itself, but from that position right there, with the crucifix, with Grant having a figure 4 on the far side arm, with the other arm being trapped by the head, and then Britton's head itself being stuck in the dead space, there's just not, and he was full T-spine rotation, right? So when you start talking of trying to rock the boat, go back and forth, he was doing all of those things, but the boat wasn't rocking.
Yeah, he was doing all the right things, man, but when you got a dude like Grant on top of you, man, that is tough. That is a rough problem to deal with.
And now we'll hear from our winner, Grant Neal. And congratulations to Grant Neal, picking up the victory here today in the main event at Colorado Combat Club 29. We want to thank you all so much for tuning in and supporting us from home, as well as everybody who came out in attendance. All of those likes, shares, follows, engagements that we have on the digitals are greatly appreciated. If you could smash that like, share, and subscribe wherever it is possible. We will be back on April 11th for Colorado Combat Club 30. Want to give a big shout out to our brass and our operations crew at Colorado Combat Club, especially the big man himself in